Hi, I'm Alex McCord and welcome to The Real Deal on thestir.com. Today we've got the Real Housewives of New York City still in Montana with Season 6, Episode 17. And for the first time ever for me, Celebrity Wife Swap on ABC with Penn, Jillette and Judy Gold. And some pretty shocking stuff that it still has me scratching my head. So, housewives. What makes a real housewife cry? Well, if you're Kristen Taekman, pretty much everything. I mean, I think Bravo should have licensed Cry Me a River for this episode. The Linda Ronstadt version, I think. In any case, last night, newbie Kristen hit the housewives' wall. She crumpled in a heap on the floor, crying that, "Nobody wants to do my activity, nobody likes me, life is awful." Watching this on television, I couldn't decide whether Kristen is an exhausted crybaby who bit off more than she could chew with these ladies, or whether she's a reality TV genius. Either she is genuinely at the end of her rope and geocaching sent her over the edge, or she's crying and calling Heather out to grab attention for herself. It could be either, it could be both. What do you think? For me, it reminded me of Cindy Barshop in Season 4 when she was complaining about getting everybody out to Quogue to ride horses. Carol attempted to soothe Kristen, but the thing is, no friendship on reality TV is safe, particularly on this style of show, on The Housewives. If you've been friends for 20 years, the best you can hope for is that after you fight, you'll eventually make up. But loyalties spin on a dime and a storyline. And I have to say, now that the Housewives franchise is 8 years old, I have no sympathy for the newbies. They know what they're signing up for. Get it together, people. Next, a viewer question. Nate Fame asked, are the scenes where the ladies are filmed just waking up totally staged? Wouldn't they have to get mic'd and cameras set up? Excellent question, Nate, and the answer is usually. Now, on 24/7 shows, you have cameras in the ceilings and walls, but not on the Housewives. Every once in a while, cameras will burst in on someone sleeping without them knowing, but most of the time, you have a little warning. The best way to tell is whether you can hear the person in bed, i.e., are they wearing a microphone? And if you were referring to Heather last night in glamping, I think she had way too much freshly applied makeup to have literally just woken up. From a behind-the-scenes perspective, it was funny to watch Ramona raking Kristen over the coals. I think that in New York Housewives history, Ramona is the only one who really, truly takes hostessing duties seriously. It is a fine art and a competitive sport for Ramona. I'll explain. Most of the time, producers do the planning, but they don't tend to think about creature comforts such as maid service and refreshments. The producers are thinking about what will look good on TV. And this is where there's actually a balance between reality TV and real life. Because in the real world, if you're paying thousands of dollars for a glamorous getaway, you have every right to expect and demand that your every need be met. However, when you're filming a movie or a TV show on location, you tend to rough it, and you're happy if you've got your own room and some bottled water. Anyone who howls about the thread count of their sheets is a crazy diva. Except it's a reality show. Okay, so call it method acting. Ramona wants the luxury experience that they are filming to actually literally be a luxury experience, rather than, for example, styled food on the bar that looks gorgeous but you can't eat it. In any case, Ramona can always be counted upon to make sure that everybody has hangers and wine, and in this case, space heaters. And if Kristen thought that production would take care of it and she should just stiff upper lip it out, well, no wonder Ramona took over. Otherwise, it was a cute end to the trip with plenty of side jokes about hatchet throwing and bears, and Aviva Drescher is still out of the credits. I mean, Bravo are just upset with her for skipping so many episodes intentionally. Moving on. Last night I watched Celebrity Wife Swap for the first time ever on ABC, and I felt a little disillusioned. Now, not about the show itself. Zodiac Productions does a great job with a smart formula that works. You swap two spouses of celebrities, they follow the house rules first, then they make their own changes, you debrief at the end of the week and follow up 6 weeks later. Cool. No, my disillusion was with Penn Jillette. Now, some backstory. I have always been a huge fan of his, to the point that when I was actually in the same room with him, I couldn't speak. Not so much his stage show, but back before I was on television myself and I actually watched TV for pleasure, I used to love watching Penn and Teller's bull. So it's great stuff, and I was thrilled to see that the wife swap episode I happened to cover featured him and comedian Judy Gold. Even better. Well, a sensationalist cheap shot happened last night, and I'm trying to figure out how it got started. For those who missed it, it had to do with religion. Woo! Whether Penn took it upon himself to do this, or whether Zodiac and ABC somehow massaged it in post-production, Penn gave atheists a bad name last night, and he fanned the flames of religious war. I hated it. See, Penn's an atheist, and that's fine. And Judy's Jewish, and that's also fine. Part of the swapping experience is sharing cultural experiences. So Judy's partner, Alyssa, shows Penn and his kids the candle lighting ceremony that kicks off a Shabbat dinner on Friday nights. Penn openly talked and mocked the ceremony with his kids throughout the whole thing, which, by the way, only takes about 2 minutes. I wanted to throw something at the TV because either Penn, Zodiac, or ABC decided to make a big, huge statement that all atheists are a-holes. So take religion out of it for a second. Delete the religion, right? Whether you are talking about binary code, reciting Shakespeare, filibustering with a phone book, or chanting in Hebrew, it is rude to not only not listen, but go further and openly mock somebody while they're speaking. A big part of family dinners is teaching your kids how to share information, take turns, let people speak. And Penn taught his kids a big, bad lesson, which is that it is okay to be disrespectful to guests in your home. Ouch. Penn just turned into Ann Coulter. Was that intentional? Now, Penn did say that he was uncomfortable with anything to do with religion, and that showed. So, okay. Maybe our takeaway is that we learned religion scares the pants off Penn, and this big funny guy who seems to be the most secure cat on the planet is actually not secure at all because a little chanting in Hebrew gives him the heebie-jeebies. So, all right, he's human, which is the aim of Celebrity Wife Swap after all, to prove that we're all human. But still, 99% of the atheists in the world are not disrespectful dickheads. Now, the rest of the episode was lots of fun, tightening up family dinners, getting both parents involved in bedtime, and adding sports or music lessons where they were lacking, and a fabulous redecoration of Judy Gold's New York City bedroom. Now, as it turns out, my former castmate, Jill Zarin, will be on an episode as well in about 2 weeks. Are you going to watch? I can't wait. Let me know what you thought in the comments. For now, I am Alex McCord. You are watching The Real Deal on thestir.com. Subscribe on YouTube, and I will see you tomorrow.